I'm Ray.
And I'm Veronica.
And welcome to another edition of Page to Screen from the Chick Lit Book Club podcast.
Today we're discussing Safe Haven by Nicholas Sparks.
Oh, bring it, bitches!
Oh my god.
Oh, the anger, the rage has overtaken me.
The rage has overtaken me. That is one of my favorite things you've ever said on this podcast.
Well, it's fucking true tonight, bitches, because holy god.
Uh-huh.
Oh, where do we start? I mean, I know where we're going to start, but so, guys.
There's just so much to say.
There's so much to say. Oh my god, this is a Dave Matthews song. So much to say. Yep. Mm-hmm. So much to say. Okay. So, one thing I'm going to give this books and movie is, oh my god.
First of all, let's say, so Ray read Safe Haven this week.
I did.
I rewatched the movie this week.
I rewatched the movie also because I had seen it a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it had been a while. So we're both refreshed on the movie, but Ray has read the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to say up top that the reason that we chose, or I said I'd bite the bullet on this one, is because I have connection to that area. My family is from and currently lives in Wilmington and Southport. So, and it is my home away from home. And I get, I'm thinking about it right now, and I haven't been there in 4 years, so I'm getting a little kind of, teary-eyed because I'm thinking how much I miss it. I tried to move there I don't know how many times. So I love this town so much. So I'm going to give props to that.
Yeah, it looks like magic.
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we've decided to do to break it down, because we are going to talk about Sir Nicholas Sparks. We will talk about him last, because do we have some things to fucking talk about? But we're going to talk about about the movie, or the premise of both the movie and we're going to talk about the movie, and then I will tell you what's the difference between the movie and the book is. Is that what we're kind of deciding?
Yeah, that's cool.
And then we will talk about our buddy Nick. Mm-hmm. So, okay. So, if anybody, this was 2016, am I correct in that one?
The movie?
Yeah.
2013.
13, okay. For some reason, I kept 16 is in my head. Okay, so 2013, it stars Juliana Hough and Josh Duhamel. Josh Duhamel, what? I can't. I was going to think of something dirty, but I couldn't.
Oh, really? Doing it well. That's
what
I thought of.
Nice! Nice! Yes! Another shirt.
You go.
Oh, God. He is beautiful.
Oh, LL Cool J.
He's also beautiful, too. Oh, Josh Duhamel. Okay. So let's start from the very beginning. I guess a very good place to start.
I was just going to say it.
Mm-hmm. So we start with... So my first notes... my first note is, well, that's quite a fucking start. It's like Law and Order. But her wig is fucking the worst.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Her wig is awful.
Mm-hmm.
So... all we see is this long brown-haired woman screaming and crying, running through the rain to somewhere, she's barefoot, holding a bag, and she's covered in blood.
Mm-hmm.
It is very much like she just fucking found a corpse in the middle of Central Park. And she runs into a house. She's like, I know what's going to happen. And it goes to bump, bump, Safe Haven. No, I'm sorry.
Right.
Then she goes to the bus station. It's a whole bus thing before she...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, she goes to the house.
Yeah.
And then she goes to the bus station.
Yeah. So it's all of a ssudden you see this dark-haired woman with long hair goes to this house. She's covered in blood. And then all of a sudden it's quick... what is that called?
Cut?
Quick cut to... Smash cut to the bus terminal. And there's a short-haired, beautiful blonde, because, you get that with a box. Blonde.
With all those beautiful highlights and natural lowlights and things.
Exactly. And that beautiful cut of her hair. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Gorgeous. That you could just do in your house, in your bathroom.
That she definitely did with just scissors.
Exactly. A la The Fugitive.
Uh-huh.
I didn't kill my wife.
That's based from about a thing in Cleveland. Do you know that, right?
Yes, I do. Dr.
God,
Alan Shepard.
So dark. Yeah, so dark.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Anyway.
No, it's fine. He didn't really do it.
No, he didn't do it.
He didn't do it. Neither did the fugitive.
Correct.
Oh God, Harrison Ford was very handsome in that movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's
Tommy
a handsome man.
Tommy Lee Jones was actually handsome in that movie, too. I'm going to just get it. I don't care. I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Anyhow, thanks for taking a journey with us, guys.
Yep, that was a journey.
It was.
It was a good journey, though.
It was a good journey. So here's this blonde chick, and she goes jumping on this bus. So this very attractive...
With like a pregnant belly.
Did she have a pregnant belly?
Yeah, she put her...
Oh, she put the thing in... Yes, that's right. She put her bag of clothes
her bag
or whatever.
And, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's right. And so she comes like smacking up on the side of the bus, and she's like, let me in or whatever. She gets on the bus, and they start to drive away as she's looking, and there's this... You're thinking it's a random police officer who's a very attractive police officer looking for her. I thought he was attractive.
He's cute.
He was cute, and like trying to find this woman, and he's got a squad with him. So you're like, oh shit, this woman's like fucking fugitive, like for reals. And she ends up getting like he loses track of that bus, and she gets away. So she goes, she wakes up pretty much like you see a little bit of a, so that's where you get the dun dun
Right.
safe haven. And then it shows the bus going to like the south.
Which is like beautiful. That little montage where it like shows the bus going south and like winding along the coast and stuff. It's really beautiful.
It is. And then she wakes up in this little like harbor town. And like everyone's getting off to get coffee or whatever, and of course, you know, right by the bus stop is gorgeous fucking Josh do it well is got his little store, and she, you know, he's arguing with some lady about coffee, and she looks over, and of course it's
bitching
like
about like the coffee being sludge or whatever.
Yeah, because it was something
mud. I think she called it mud.
And so we learn her name is Katie. Katie it buys a cup of coffee and they kind of like make eyes, and she's looking out at the river, because I know it's the Cape Fear River, but you don't know it's the Cape Fear River, but I do. And she's like, you know, oh, gorgeous. And the bus leaves, and she decides to stay. So she does. And she goes over to this little fish shack called Ivan's. It's not really little, but it's still a little fish shack. And gets a job. So she becomes a waitress. And then I'm trying to go through my notes.
To be fair, she does sleep under a bridge the first night she's there.
Oh my God, I did feel that. I was like, okay, I feel you.
I mean, where else is she going to go?
Somebody would have seen her. That's fine. But I'm sure somebody would have been like, yeah, there's somebody sleeping under a bridge. Because I'm gonna, here, I'll let you have my first little note. Everybody there's fucking rich as shit.
Oh, really?
Southport there's no little shacks like that in Southport.
I did not get that impression. I mean,
oh my God.
Fictionalizing a town is like, I mean, fine. Like, that's not a strike in my book. It just sort of is what it is.
So Southport is a historic town. Most of the houses in Southport run in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Unfortunately, Southport is, however, when the hurricanes come through, it's the one that like usually floods and gets the most of the damage.
Right.
But you have to get no, you don't have to take the ferry to get there. You can actually it runs right past my mom and dad's house to get to Southport. You can ride. It's about 30 minutes outside of Wilmington if you just drive.
Okay.
But it is so it is connected to the mainland. It's just easier to take the ferry. But they ain't no shacks out there. Yeah, it's. I
mean, it's still like a beachfront community, so I would imagine.
It is. Somebody's gonna notice a transient sleeping under a bridge. They'll be like, "Oh, Muffy, somebody's sleeping under the bridge." I mean, it's like.
It also does seem like a small town. Like that would be strange.
Okay, here's the other thing. They make this town up to be like a fucking town. It's not a town. Like, there's no little store like he's got in Southport. there are about 5 or 6 restaurants, and like the restaurants make the town, like quote unquote town. I can't explain it. It's literally a T. So you get the main drag going into town, and then it kind of tees off. The tees off are like right down by the water. And the place that we go a lot, it's Fishy is really good, but we go to Yacht Basin Eatery, which is like, at one point she mentions it being the Yacht Basin, and it is the Yacht Basin, but they really got the good pizza there. And actually Luna's been there a couple times.
Oh, Lunestra.
Yeah, Lunestra's been there, but and then some of the places actually they built for the movie, and they just kept and actually put restaurants in. Because they're like, yeah, here we need a couple other buildings. So that's how tiny this place is. So no, they're not having a fucking parade. Like I was like, I actually had to look to see. I'm like, I don't think there's a Southport High School. There isn't. It's New Brunswick High School that the Southport kids go to, which encompasses more kids. But there's not a Southport High School itself, no. So yeah, I love all the love though. I'm all for the love. But that's just to give you an idea of like, it is. I mean, because I don't know how you felt, but like me even knowing the area, I felt like I don't know what's happening here because I didn't know I didn't feel like there was a center of demarcation for anything. Like, because all of a sudden she's by the store, but then his house is right next door. I mean, that house itself, I'm gonna tell you right now, that house itself probably was at least $600,000. I mean,
well, again, like waterfront property, I would assume that it would be pretty expensive.
On the other side, over on Wilmington, $1 million. I mean, that's just how it is. Like, these are Civil War era houses. I mean, that's what we're talking about.
Wow.
Yeah. So, like all that brick that was in front of his house, that's all original brick that was there when it was, when it was founded. So, anyhow, yes.
I had a hard time, like you're talking about a clear line of demarcation or something. Like, I did have a hard time figuring out, like, they act like his house is right across from the store, but then, like, at the end, she walks across the street to where they're sitting by the dock, and then, I guess the store was no longer there. But, like, I don't know, that was disorienting for me. And then also, how far away does she fucking live?
Well,
because
and that's
she
the thing.
Walks.
Right. I mean,
into the middle of nowhere.
And I could be wrong. There could be some little shack in the middle. But, okay. Because I have some thoughts about this fucking shack she lives in. But to get back to what you're saying, they had to build that. There was no store like that there. That was not there. They had to build that, and they burnt it down. It's not there anymore. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't there. That
seems wasteful.
Well, I mean, it's a set. They just built there's their movie studio down there, so they do that shit all the time. So, I mean, Iron Man 3 was... Okay, anyhow. So, Iron Man 3 was filmed there, too. So,
nice.
Yep. So, all right, I'm going back to my notes because I'm like, all right, so, okay, so she moves to Southport, right? She lives in a rental cottage next to Jo, a local woman who's definitely not a ghost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So Alex begins to notice her when she comes in to buy groceries. And, well, actually...
Katie, not the ghost.
Not... also not Aaron, which you'll find out in a little bit.
Katie/Aaron.
Katie/Aaron. And so Katie strikes up a friendship with Lexi, which that's not her name in the book. That's fine.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's Kristen. Oh, no. I have a lot of... You saw my text. I have a lot of issues with the kids. A lot of issues.
Huh.
Spoiler alert, guys. I actually fucking like the book better than I like the movie. I hate to say it. I like the characters better in the book.
Huh.
Okay, so anyhow...
It seems like there are a lot of changes based on what you and I have said.
Not like to the point where the whole main story is different. Well, yes, there is. There's a big fucking change.
There's a big change.
Yeah. So during one these are my these are my notes. Okay, hold on. My notes of the book. So here was my notes. Well, that's great. And then my second note is, now I'm shazamming the theme song. Guess what? It's Say Anything by Tristan Prenneman, if anybody's wondering. Yep.
Huh.
Yeah. So my third note is, fuck, I love Wilmington. Fuck, I love Southport. Yes, it is that beautiful there. Those are my notes.
To go there.
Yeah. So immediately we cut to this police officer who we have don't we have a flashback to what happened? Oh no, he's going through all this video of the buses leaving. He's going through
security camera footage.
Yeah. And he does definitely finds this woman. Like, he thinks it is the woman he's looking for, and you don't know who it is, who this guy is who's looking at the footage, and you don't know what she's done. But he does.
You assume that it's like physically injure someone, maybe kill them.
Yeah. Yes. So he's at this. So you just think at the same time he's going through all this footage. Okay. I just have no stories like this in Southport. Had to build this for the movie. So my other note is, after she starts working at Ivan's, so she gets a job as a waitress at Ivan's. One day she starts to freak out because these two police officers come in and they're looking around like, and then he goes like, the one goes, somebody's parked in a handicapped parking spot. And I actually said, they really need two deputies for somebody parked in a handicapped fucking spot? Really?
Right.
Really?
Well, they got nothing to do.
I go, this police force fucking sucks. So then my next note is, Colby Smulders, what the fuck are you doing in this movie? And then, where is your Southern accent? She's supposed to have a Southern accent. So
actually, does anyone in that movie have a Southern accent?
No.
I think the cop has a Southern accent. That's like it.
So Colby Smulders is supposed to be the one who was from Wilmington or from Southport. It was her father's store. Oh. Alex was supposed to be from Seattle, Washington. Right? Okay. So, then I'm trying to remember, because now, then we have I just have random ghost encounter. I'm not a ghost! Because Joke is, so she comes home from work one day and she goes to this fucking shack that she lives in. She rents this shack. I mean, I can't even, it's a shack. Like, it
like maybe should have been condemned. Like, it's not really.
It was built when fucking Sherman came through with his army in 1865. Yep. And hasn't been remodeled since then. I'm surprised.
She puts her foot through the floor, like the first or second day she's there.
And I'm surprised that raccoon didn't stick its little head up going like, the fuck?
Well, there is a possum. Like, she
that's right,
looks down, there's a possum right there.
Yeah.
And it like hisses at her or something.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. FYI, her in the book, it's not that bad at all. It's not that bad. Yep. So she's living in this fucking shack with, FYI, no hair dryer. No, I'm assuming no hair dryer. No hair products, but she's got this gorgeous haircut, gorgeous like style that like all of us would want. All of us would be like, yes.
She has nothing. I actually had a lot of questions about, like, how does she have any dollars?
See, in the book, they explain that. So in the book, at one point, she's in Philadelphia. So I know we were going to compare the two, but it might be easier as we're going along.
That's fine.
So, all right. So I'm going to spoil a little bit. We're going to go a little ahead so I can spoil this part. So she is the person that the police officer is looking for because it's his wife. Mm-hmm. He is a Boston police officer. He's a serial abuser. And during one night, he started smacking her around. She stabbed him with a knife in the arm and ran off. I don't know why she thought that she killed him. She stabbed him in the arm, but that's...
Well, in the movie, she stabs him in the side.
In his arm. I watched. It was in his arm.
Are you sure?
It's in his arm.
In the movie?
Yep. It was in his arm because I thought, Are you fucking kidding me? You thought you killed him because you stabbed him in his arm? Like, yeah, no, I legit, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Because I was like, okay, well, maybe she thought. I'm like, no.
What happens in the book?
There's no fight.
So right, you said that. Okay.
No, because you get at least 2 or 3 different chapters of him beating the piss out of her, like kicking her in the kidneys to where she bleeds, pisses blood, and it's awful. And then he ends up. So she you're introduced to her kind of leaving about 30% of the way through. She starts talking to Joe about what happened, and she tells Joe the story. She starts telling Joe the story, and she finishes telling Alex the story. So she tells Joe how she left. She says this, and I wrote it down, and I couldn't fucking believe this. Guys, this is... My hypothesis is that Nicholas Sparks jacks it to women's tears. That is my hypothesis of this whole thing. And right here is one of the... here's a line from the book. During her background, she says, "At least her father didn't sneak into her bedroom and do awful things to her like her friends' fathers did to them." What?
Why? That's not even fucking relevant.
Well, here's the thing.
Why would you put that in
there? I
there?
didn't know anybody like that in grade school or in high school.
I actually did, but
not
we didn't
that
know
many.
about it.
Not
one. I mean, that I know of.
One, but it sounds like the way she made it sound. It was like all of her friends were getting molested. I was like,
but also that's not relevant to this. Like, why are you putting that in there?
Because she talks about how her parents, her father was an alcoholic, but he didn't beat her. And that's supposed to make you feel better, I guess, because he didn't at least beat her.
Okay, so hang on. In the book, is the husband an alcoholic?
Oh, he is a severe alcoholic.
Okay, so to that point, that is a thing that children of alcoholics tend to marry alcoholics.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, she's she admits she should never have married him, because she knew right away. She went into it going he beat her in her first or second date or something like that, and she continued to be with him. Yeah, not a good guy. Excuse me.
A lot of red flags.
I couldn't. So guys, I listened to the audiobook because I had a lot of shit to do this week. So I had a lot of books to read. So I listened to the audiobook on 1.75. It's fine. But when it got to his stuff, I listened to a little bit of the abuse stuff, and I just couldn't. I was like, you know what? I don't need to know this. I'm good. I kind of get an idea. I don't need to have the full... I don't need the rape. And I don't need...
I have a question. Are there, at the beginning of this book, trigger warnings?
No, of course not. Come on. Again, asshole. Jacking it to your tears. Of course there's no fucking... He wants you to have those trigger warnings, so it excites him.
Gross. God, I have so many questions. Okay, so... All
right, so your question was, how did she get out, right? Is that what the question... No, okay, so what she does to get out in the book is actually very smart. You're introduced to her backstory, but she's going to get her hair done. So she knows she has a certain amount of time to get her hair done.
Yeah.
Her husband, she doesn't drive. She doesn't have a driver's license. He's never allowed her to get a driver's license.
Got it. Yeah.
She doesn't have friends. She doesn't have a driver's license. None of that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Isolating her. Narcissism.
Yep.
Got it.
And she knows it. So she is trying to get the woman to kind of go faster, but not she doesn't talk. She's talks enough that she can get her to move faster, because she needs a certain amount of time, because she needs to get to Radio Shack right next door so she can buy a burner phone.
Yeah, got it.
So she gets her burner phone. She gets back in enough time. It's very much, it's edge of your seat, because you don't know if she's going to get back in time, because if he sees her outside, he's going to beat her. If she any questions, he's going to beat her. So she has her phone, and she hides it in an SOS box, the scrubbing pads box at home. And she has something else. Calling cards. She's got calling cards, and she hides them somewhere else too. And this whole time she's been kind of siphoning money little by little, because she's tried to leave twice. She's tried to run away twice, and he's caught her twice. So this is her time to be really smart about it. She's planning like weeks and months in ahead. So, so when her husband, so again, this is skip. So I know he's out of town. I don't know what he was doing because again, that was during the skipping stuff, and I was like, I don't fucking care. But he was away from the house, and what she did is she took the burner phone and she had it. She had her calls forwarded to the burner phone, and she left a few days before she knew he was going to be home. So she was like...
So it looked like she was still home.
Yep. She was on her way to Pennsylvania with this fucking burner phone. And he'd call her and she'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm at home. I'm just going to go do this. Da, 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 da. And so by the time he got home, she was like days away. She was days gone. So this whole thing with him like coming up to the bus station never happened because she was 2 or 3 days ahead of him living.
Also, like in the movie, they intentionally don't tell you like who this dude is who's chasing after her.
Right. You know,
and
right away.
They never show the person who she has like had this bloody fight with.
Right. It's so very much like you're expecting her to be a murderer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then like the way that the timeline goes, like I texted this to you after you figure out like who he is to her in the movie. I was like, that seems not... It seems weird because he's like passed out from blood loss or dead, you assume, at the beginning of this movie. Yes. But then also he's supposed to be running through a bus station to find her.
Well, then...
And you assume like this is quickly.
Right. And then also he comes up and he's like, after he figures out she was on a bus to go to Atlanta, is when he comes back up to the bus station in the movie. And she's been in North Carolina for months at this point. And like... It didn't make sense. I was like, he just found this out? It's been fucking months. Like, it didn't... like, in my head, I go, this isn't... This
Who would still have that footage?
They wouldn't.
Well,
so you also find out that he's illegally doing this. Like, he shouldn't be doing this. Like, find out in the movie, he's putting he puts a national APB out on her for murder, and he's obviously, she's not dead, like he's not dead, so she's not a murderer, right? So but also the Southport police are the worst. So
yeah, they kind of are
the worst. So she gets that's how she gets to Southport
in the movie. We're not saying anything about the Southport police like in real life.
Oh, no, they're fine.
Southport police in the movie are clearly...
I'm sure they're delightful.
I got the impression that they were just like, nothing like this happens here, but I got this APB, so I need to like put it on this bulletin board. You know?
Right, exactly.
Exciting ever
that actually
here.
Might happen in Southport. Wilmington, however, has a little bit more of a crime than you know. Yeah. Wilmington is the San Francisco of the South, just so you know. It is. There's lots of gay bars, lots of gay pride. I love it. Anywho, I've been to so many gay bars in Wilmington, it's not even funny. Anywho, so that's like how she gets away. It's very obvious.
Smart.
It's very smart. The other things she does, you don't learn until like about 60% into the book. And I don't even know if she actually tells Alex this. No, she does tell Alex this. Is that she has she became friends with her neighbor, Mrs. Feldman, Mr. and Mrs. Feldman, in the book, and she steals their dead daughter's birth certificate and driver's license, and she made a copy of it and put it back in their files so that they wouldn't.
So they
recognize
don't know she did that.
Did it, and so in the movie he breaks into the house.
Yeah.
And he doesn't steal. He finds out that she's been calling because of a recipe
made
that was left at the house.
So he found like a recipe that he you find out later it's probably like the pie that kind of
it's the cherry pie. Yeah,
it's the cherry pie. So he finds that recipe and he already suspects Mrs. Feldman has helped Katie/Aaron. But he has no proof. Like, he just suspects that she helped.
Yeah.
So he sees that handwriting and then goes over to her fucking mailbox and, like, illegally takes her mail out of her mailbox and looks at the handwriting, like it's outgoing mail, and looks at the handwriting on the envelopes and sees that it's hers.
Yeah.
And then later, at this point, also, hasn't his badge already been taken? Or maybe not.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yes, because what happens is, okay, so, all right, let's back up a little bit because we're getting towards the end of the movie. So let me back up, because this is what's tough is because in the book, you find out before this that Katie has stolen those things. No one knows. And the only way that the husband is Kevin knows is because Mr. Feldman ends up dying, and there's a funeral, and one of the Feldman's daughters is sitting outside smoking, and she ends up talking to Kevin, and she's like, "Well, is Aaron coming to the funeral? Because I know that she was really close with my dad." Ooh. And that's how and then she starts talking about Katie, her sister who passed away, and that's how he figures it out. And I'm surprised because he's fucking hammered all the time. So here's
how would he even remember that?
Here's my first fucking question. How did no one smell this asshole?
If it's vodka doesn't smell, though.
Oh, that's true. As much as he's drinking, though?
You'd think it would be like seeping out of his pores.
Right? That's what I was thinking.
Because like even in the movie when he finally gets confronted about the fact that I remember before last night when I was watching the movie, I texted you like he is unhinged, and that was like before because it's been so long since I've seen this movie. Like I had forgotten that he was like a serious alcoholic and that there was vodka in the water bottle. Yeah. But like his sergeant or whoever, his captain, like takes the water bottle and smells it.
Yeah.
And even then, like dude, vodka doesn't smell. Like, what do you... I mean, maybe you get, like, an aroma, like a pungent...
Cheap shit will smell.
They did show the bottle at one point. It didn't look shit. Like it was, yeah.
Because, I mean, they don't have a lot of money. They don't. Like, they talk about that in the book. It's like, they don't have a ton of money. If he's a cop,
like, even if he's a detective, and she's probably not allowed to work.
She has no job.
Well, she wouldn't be allowed to work for him. You know what I mean? Like, in that relationship scenario, he would not want her to work because that would give up control.
Yeah, and she met him because she was a cocktail waitress in Atlantic City in the book. Okay, we're getting to, like, a couple of my favorite parts. My first favorite part is where, so Alex pretty much has a heart on for Katie. Like, he's got a heart on for Katie.
All of you missed the look I just gave her, but
I loved it. I fucking loved it. It was coy.
Like, I see what you did there.
It was coquettish. I loved it. And I have to say, in the book Alex is fucking suave as shit. Book Alex is like, so at one point, like, 'cause she won't speak to Book Alex at all. Like, she comes in, she gets her groceries, she barely makes eye contact. He's like, pretty much like, and she doesn't speak except to Kristen.
Kristen, so that's the daughter. That's Lexi.
Yeah, it's Lexi.
Okay.
And so, because Kristen's kind of like, you're going to talk to me because I'm a child and I'm adorable.
Right, and, of course. And the little girl who plays her is
adorable. She's fucking adorable. She reminds me of the little girl who ends up being like the little girl in the Heights. They look a lot alike, actually.
Oh, yeah, okay. I see what you mean.
So what Katie ends up doing is, like, because it's the only place in town to get food, which, again, just go 20 minutes down the road, you go to Piggly Wiggly. Or Walmart, because there's a fucking Walmart down the street. You go to Piggly Wiggly or Walmart. Or Lowe's. Or Food Lion. So she goes into this little ramshackle store, and he's like, in the book, it's very sweet. She's buying pretty much like provisions, which you would get because you asked about money. That was one thing you asked. How can she afford to do this? Like, she had money saved in the book. She had money saved, not a lot. Like, she had been,
if you said she'd been like siphoning off money.
Right. And she had money to, like, she knew that she could stay 3 nights in Philadelphia on this money, 4 if she didn't want to eat. That's pretty much what she said. So, like, she was eating like cheese and crackers for breakfast, like those kind of things. And when she gets to North Carolina, she literally has nothing pretty much at that point. So, but what she's been doing is pretty much starving until she can start to buy groceries. Mm-hmm. And when she buys groceries, she buys like rice. She's buying rice and things that you can buy in big quantities and like you can have
cheap stuff that will like
right. There's no meat. He in fact thinks she's a vegetarian because she doesn't buy any meat.
Well, it's expensive.
It's expensive, right? And so excuse me, like at one point he's like, well, there's vegetables, like, there's like onions by the door. And she goes, yeah, but it's like 4 or 5 onions in a bag and I'm not going to use them.
Right.
So
for one person, like.
Right. So he makes it so that there's an individual onion for her. Yep. And one day she's like, do you have beans? I'm looking for beans. And he's like, well, what kind of beans do you want? And she's like, well, you don't have to. I was just wondering if you had them. And then he goes and he makes sure there's like 3 or 4 different kinds of beans that he then stocks. And then one day as she's leaving, he picks up the books. She's picking up books and looking at them like that they had like on the carousel. And he's like, who's your favorite author? And she just looks at him and she walks out. As she walks out over her shoulder, she says, Mark Twain. And, sorry, Charles Dickens.
Okay.
And no, I immediately first started thinking of Mark Twain, because they listen to Mark Twain in the car. Yeah, they listen to Mark Twain in the car. And she's Charles Dickens. So the next day she's in there, and there's like Great Expectations, and there's like he ordered a whole bunch of I mean, he's super sweet.
That's really cute, but I'm also like male gaze. Like, what is any woman going to be like? Charles Dickens is my favorite author.
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I love Little Dorrit.
I loved Tale of Two Cities. I'm not saying he's a bad author. I'm just saying, like.
No, I mean, that's not my first choice. No.
Like,
if
you are listening to this and your favorite author is Charles Dickens, please write to us at Chicklet Book Club Podcast.
That's true. I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, how many women are going to be like, Charles Dickens is my favorite author?
Well, we all know. Well, we don't know yet, but Nicholas Sparks has his fucking idea of where he comes in the pantheon of fucking authors, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit.
How many times did I text you, fuck you, Nicholas Sparks, last night?
Okay. I'm keeping it in, guys. I'm keeping it in. It's rolling. It's inside of me like a burning dumpster fire. I just want to just scream.
Yes, the rage has overtaken you.
It has.
So now in the movie, this is something that you and I texted about. He, in place of like beans or like books that she might want to read, is the paint. So she wants to paint the floor in her shack.
Well, and I said before, that cottage in the book is not like this. Like, It's not a fucking like Beverly Hillbilly shack that she lives in.
Right. But and Lexi, the daughter / Kristen, does like, I got you this time. So Katie inquires about paint, and Lexi doesn't say that they don't sell paint. She's like, we have like colors you can choose from, like samples you can take home and look at.
Yeah. And he goes,
and so then when she comes back to like order paint, he's like, yeah, okay, this color, that's an unusual color, but cool, I'll get it ordered for you. I need a name and a number. So like, so when like it comes in, and she says, my name is Katie, but I don't have a number.
Roger.
And when she leaves, he goes over to Roger and is like, he's like writing up the thing or whatever. And Roger goes, since when do we sell paint? And Alex goes, since right now.
Yep.
Since right now.
Yeah, I mean, so I mentioned this to Veronica
Alex
before.
is pretty dreamy.
So I mentioned this to Veronica before we started. I said, I love Book Alex a lot. Book Alex is suave as shit. Movie Alex is derpy as shit, and I fucking love it. Like, he's derpy. He's he
definitely
falls
like
all
not
over himself.
Smooth. Yeah,
he's not smooth.
What does he say about the basmati rice? He's like, basmati rice, the king of rice.
And Roger's like, the king
he
of
makes
rice?
fun of him. Yeah, because like at the time last night when I was watching it, I laughed out loud. I was like, oh my God, you're such a nerd. And then as soon as she left, Roger's like, the king of rice? Like,
dude, really? No,
really, bro.
Alex in the book is suave. Like, he doesn't. So Alex in the book he's prematurely gray. He's already gray at like, I'm assuming he's probably early 30s in the book. She's 28 in the book, which I know she's not 28 in the movie because he's 17 years older than her. Yes.
What?
Josh Duhamel is 17 years older than Juliana Hough.
Wait, in real life? Like,
in real life, yes. Yep.
Wow.
He's 48 years old. She's 16, going on 17. Yeah, she's 32.
Now she's 32?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought she was older than that. Not because she looks like I'm not trying to make a remark about her aging process.
No.
I'm just saying, like, she's been in so many things. I just assumed she's older than that.
Yeah, yeah. So, because I looked today, I was like, how different in age are these two? And because I said to you, because I, for some reason in my head, had him gray like he is in Transformers, because he's gray in Transformers. And in the book, it's a big plot point that he's gray. He's gone gray early, Alex has, because they joke about it, like how he's old. He's like, I'm only like 32 or like early 30s.
He's just like prematurely graying.
Yeah, which
absolutely
fucking
happens.
turns me on so much.
Oh my.
I do. I fucking love premature grade guys. I love it.
God,
anybody
how
want
young
out there
was she when this movie was made?
Well,
So
2013.
2013. She was born in 1988.
Yeah.
Math.
Oh my god, math
Where's my
is hard.
husband? God
so
damn it.
we're talking about 13.
Hang
to,
on.
13 to 1. So 8 years ago. So she was 30.
She was 25.
She was 25, and he was 40.
Now, okay, hang on. Let's just take a moment. Hang on. Back the fucking truck up. All right, listen. If you would have asked me like 15 years ago what, quote, 40 looks like, that would not be it.
Josh Duhamel would not be it, no.
No, because
although there was a couple times where he was smiling, and I was like, oh wow, those are the lines I've got now.
Listen,
in my eyes.
He's attractive.
Oh my god, who wouldn't throw a fucking like a whole leg and their arms? And oh my god, I want him to wreck my vagina.
I texted you last night. How many more times do you think Josh Duhamel is going to run his hand through his hair?
I wanted to run his hand. I want him to run his hand through my hair.
It's like
my
very
below bottom, everything.
It's like very classic, like book boyfriend, like so you know, like.
Oh, but it was a bad haircut.
He ran his hand through his hair. His hair was messy, like he'd been running his hand through it. You know what I mean?
But you know what? That haircut was rough. That haircut was rough in the back because it was 2013 haircut where it was like long in the front and he had like a cowlick in the back almost. Like it didn't sit. Yeah. It didn't sit nice in the back. But I mean, again,
still hit that.
Oh my god, I would have let him hit it from wherever he wanted, whatever hole he wanted, whatever way he wanted.
Wow. Ray just going for it. It's fine.
I said it. I also just said that he wrecked my vagina.
Yes, I know. I heard that.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I am looking at pictures of him from the movie. That haircut is really, it's a little intense.
It's at the back. It's the back part because it sticks up. It's not smooth. Like it should be long all over. Like it's almost like it should be one of those Peaky Blinders haircuts that are cool now. Like where it's kind of like. Mm-hmm. Anywho, so we're getting to the part that I like is where he fixes up a bike for her.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if that happens in the book, too.
Oh, my God. It happens in the book. It does.
Because that is very cute.
The kids help him in the book. I mean, you don't really see it, but you know that they did. So they help him put this bike, and he leaves it outside of her house, her shack. And she comes out, and she walks it into town, and she's not happy. In the book, I liked it better because she's fucking on fire pissed. Nice. And she's like, why? I didn't fucking ask for this. She didn't say fucking ask. She's like, I didn't ask for this. I don't want this because she thought he bought it because it was like brand new almost. And she's like, I didn't ask for this. I didn't want you to buy this for me. And he's like, ho, 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 ho. Like, I didn't purchase it. Like, it was just, it's been sitting. It's my wife's bike. He like says it's my wife's bike. In the movie, he doesn't say that. In the book,
I wondered if that was the case.
He's like, it's just been sitting there. She barely used it.
Because he says like it's just sitting. No one's using it. It's just I had it, and it's so I like wondered if that was Joe's bike.
And he literally says in the book, he goes, I was gonna take it to the Goodwill, but I thought you might want to use it at least because then you don't have to walk to work. And he talks her down, and she's so much like by the end of their conversation in this, like she starts at an 11 and she's down to a 2, and they talk, and then it's very sweet. And in the movie, she's like not as pissed off. She's shitty. She's fucking shitty to him in the movie. I'm like,
yeah, she is. She's pretty rude to him in the movie.
And she just leaves. She leaves the bike and she's like, like 2 fingers in the air. She doesn't even like look back at him, and she's peace out. And then Joe, who's not a ghost, says to her like, don't you think you overreacted? So she goes, so this is what they did. So they took this conversation that happens, which happens at a different point in the book, because she says something along the lines of like, he's gonna forgive you. I can't remember what I should have written it down what she said, but it along the lines of he'll forgive you. Mm-hmm. They took that piece that was from this will be like a further conversation, an argument. They only have one argument in the book, and it's at this one point. And she goes back the next day and asks forgiveness. They took that and they put it there.
Okay. All right.
Because she goes to Joe and she's like, do you think he'll forgive me? And so they use this bike part as that, which I was like, okay, because then we will talk about the other part that infuriated me. So then we get to the second part when I fucking laughed out loud in my house. Jesus Christ, when that kid fucking bit it on the boat, where he hit the fucking boat with the water, I laughed my fucking ass off.
Why did you laugh?
Because I'm a horrible asshole. Because it was like the funniest thing. I was like, oh shit. Because he doesn't do that in the book. That's not what happens in the book. So in the book, she's looking because Alex has a monitor behind him, so he can see Josh. Because Josh is always fishing off the dock, and Katie's up there talking with Kristen, and she can see. She's like, "Oh my God, Alex!" And he looks over at the monitor and he sees that Josh has gone in. So she grabs Kristen and he goes off and saves Josh. And so that's the whole extent of it. Josh doesn't take a fucking header into a boat and fall into the water. Okay. I laughed my ass off because it was so funny. I was like, he mean to do that? Or I'm a horrible person.
I mean, in the moment, like watching that, I mean, it scared me. Like I think I actually gasped because I had like forgotten that it happened, and there's some foreshadowing there where like Alex says like 2 feet on the dock because the kid is like balancing on the edge of the boat, and he's like 2 feet on the dock, kid, and I think he jumps in the boat or whatever.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about that part, though, but then I remembered, like, because I had seen the movie before, like, she goes and stays with Lexi / Kristen, and he jumps in the water.
And there's a lot more with Kristen. Like, Kristen, like, is a mess. And so it's a little, like, there's a whole big scene that comes after where there's a whole, so I think this what made me upset about the movie, too, is because Katie is very reserved. Katie is scared. Katie is very scared. So Katie keeps to herself for a good amount of the book. Like,
I would imagine so.
She's not going up to Kristen going like, what are you coloring it? Like, that threw me. I was like, okay, this woman has been beat within an inch of her life. Mm-hmm. She's not going up to some child and was like, hey, what's up, kid? Like,
I thought like that seemed fast forwarded for the movie to me. Like when I was watching, I was like, I cannot imagine that this woman
is flirting with that guy. I was flirting with a good look. Oh, I mean, he is a hot man, but she wouldn't be flirting. She wouldn't.
She'd probably be too scared.
She'd be scared. Mm-hmm. He's a big dude. Yeah. Who's like, I mean, he's got kids and he's a widower, but no, I mean, you're still fucking married, man. And like,
she's in a new town with tons of people she doesn't know. Right. I mean, I think it's reasonable to expect that someone would be scared. Now, for the movie magic of Hollywood, I can also see that like you need to somehow fast forward that because you can't. I don't know. I think there are better ways to demonstrate, like perhaps him trying and her kind of like giving him a brush off.
I mean, there were a couple scenes like that, but there wasn't enough for you, because in the book, there is like, she puts fucking boundaries up. She's like, nope. And so, okay, I'm going to give you a little, another difference between the book and the movie. I am talking a lot. I'm so sorry. We are almost an hour in. Wow. So, Yeah. So Alex in the book was in the military. That's where he retired from the military. He was
Right. Yeah, you said that.
He was,
or you said it to me. You didn't say it here yet.
Yeah, CID. So it would have been Criminal Investigation Department of the military. So if there was a wife who put a complaint in about her husband, he'd be the one who investigated, and that's where he saw a lot of this.
Sure.
And and from what he said, and I recognize this, and is a lot of women will put complaints in but withdraw them.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what he's saying is like he's seen a couple. He knew right away so he sees her very early on when she comes to the store. She's where her ring finger, where her wedding ring would be.
There's like
she's keeps touching her finger, like if she's going to be twisting it,
Mm-hmm.
and that is to him a sign that all of these women have in common as they do this. So he knew immediately that she was abused, and with her not making eye contact and not talking, he knew, he put it all together because he'd seen the signs that she was on the run, and that she was probably still married. Like, that's why I said Alex in the book is so fucking amazing. Like, he knows she's married. He knows it, and he doesn't care. Because, like, so...
Well, clearly she doesn't want to be in that marriage anymore. I mean, it's not like...
And he knows... I mean, he's seen what has happened to these women in the past and how they can't get out. Mm-hmm. So, I'm looking back at my... So, they do go... So, after the whole, like, you know, in the water and everything, like, she becomes more a part of the family. Like, he's very much vocal about how he likes her, but he wants them to be friends with the family in the book. And the same thing in the movie. Like, they go to the beach, and they do that in the book. Also, big thing is Katie doesn't go into a bathing suit at all. She doesn't feel it appropriate. She's like, he takes his shirt off, but she actually, like, they make it a point to say that she does not get in a bathing suit. And I think as I'm sure somebody as a survivor would not get in a bathing suit.
Well, that actually she may have like scars.
Right.
Or
that
marks.
Pissed me off to no end. I was like...
That's so Hollywood, though. I mean, they're going to put a young actress with a great body in a swimsuit.
I agree.
In a very tiny swimsuit.
It was it wasn't even like a, like, you know, something you'd buy, like, with, like, it was like string bikini. It was like, I thought to myself, like, that's really what you need to put this woman in? Like,
right. Again, male gaze. Right.
Because I'm thinking, all these survivors out there are thinking, fuck you, bitch. Like, I thought that. I'm not even a survivor. And I was like, fuck you. Like, anywho. So, but they have a really nice day at the beach. And in fact, there's a contrast because at one point Alex takes his shirt off. And there is a contrast in the book. Like, she recognizes that, holy shit, he is a good looking man. And I have to say, Josh Duhamel has weird boob pecs. He has weird boob pecs at one point. I was like, he's got weird boob pecs. I'm like, I'm okay with it.
Well, he's not like... one thing that I did notice in the movie last night, like, he's not, like, book boyfriend ripped. Yeah,
he's not
like
super jacked.
He looks like a normal person.
Yeah. He's got
like a normal...
nipples. It's fine.
I won't lie, I was not staring at his nipples. But, like, he looks like a normal human being who may have 2 children.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like a person who moves around a lot for his general life.
Yeah.
You know? Like, he's not a sedentary human being. But
he's not super jacked.
Right. Like, he's not spending hours in the gym and...
Right. He's not Sebastian Stan underneath, in the sheets.
God, mother.
My question, did you catch this when they were, like, on the beach, like, carving stuff in the sand? Why was he carving a vagina in the sand?
Yeah, I did see that.
Thank you. I was like, why is he carving a vagina? That's a vagina? Yeah.
I hear one of your cats.
It's Weasley.
Okay, that's fine.
She's behind the barricade of freedom.
The barricade of freedom.
So then he takes her home to her shack, to which he comes in to see the the painted floor because she painted it bright yellow.
Yeah, she did. That was
Why?
Lexi's suggestion.
Why?
It
Cool.
was Lexi's suggestion.
I know. Cool. And then he fucking falls to the floor. So now she has all these
Yes.
fucking holes in her fucking kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, so in the book, they decide to go. He asks her to go canoeing on their first date. So in the book, she cooks for him on their first date. And it is very sweet. Like, she does a 3-course meal at her house, like with a bacon wrapped brie and all this stuff, because she wanted to show off that she could cook. And it's very sweet. And they're sitting on the porch after dinner, and he says, so are you going to tell me, pretty much like, are you going to tell me your story? Are you going to tell me, when are you going to tell me that you're married? And she just kind of like, it's taken fucking aback. And
Yeah, I would imagine.
Well, because she thinks that Joe has told him, because she told Joe. So you learn, like, so that's why I said you learn about 30% in because she's told Joe the story.
Okay.
So she's like,
so she assumes that Joe has now relayed the information.
Yeah, because
she doesn't know Joe is not existent.
Well, okay. Joe's a ghost, but Joe is indicated that she knows Alex, that they dated, which doesn't make sense because she says when they were younger, because the only reason that Alex was there is because of Carly, his wife. So they couldn't have dated when they were younger because Alex isn't from Southport. So thanks, Joe. You're a liar.
Okay.
I mean, she's not, because she's a fucking ghost.
She's like actively trying to set this woman up with her husband. So
she's a bang cheerleader. It's fine. It's cool. So then Katie then tells the story of literally everything, of like how he beat her, how she got out, everything, of how she got to Southport. And it's very, and that's what I say, like, I did love this book up to a point. I'm gonna say it, I did, because it was like, Alex is a great hero, because he's just kind of like, he actually says at this point, like, this is their first date, and he goes, I love you. I love you. I will always love you, and I will be here for you. I'm here for you. I don't care what happens. I will protect you, and it's very sweet. It's very sweet. It's like everything you needed to hear. And he says, I have seen this before. I know what's happening. And she's kind of like, he will find me. And he's actually like, so she doesn't have, like I said, she doesn't have a driver's license. She doesn't have, but she doesn't have a driver's license per se. But she has actual driver's license from the dead daughter. So she wants to actually go and get it. She wants to get her license so she can drive. And he keeps saying, you know what's going to happen when you go take the test. And she's like, I know, he's not going to find me. She's like, he says, as soon as you get that license, people will be able to find you. And she's like, but it's not my social security number. And he's okay with that. Like, he's fine. He'd be fine with the rest of their life living her as Katie for the rest of their lives. And to me, that was so, there was something about that. I was like, so then you have the contrast where, so Alex and Katie in the movie go on a canoeing trip, which I had to fucking laugh because I was like, guess what? The Cape Fear River is full of fucking gators. You wouldn't take a fucking date on a trip through the fucking Cape Fear River.
That comes up in the movie.
It's so
because the guy, like, he's talking about going canoeing, and that guy like pops up out of the aisle, and he's like, "There's gators there."
There's gators fucking everywhere. There's gators, like, my mom and dad have sent me pictures, like, hey, guess what? This is down the street. There's a fucking 6-foot gator.
Nope.
Like, yeah, I mean, if it's not gators, it's fucking snakes.
That reminds me of our old coworker who passed away last week.
Oh.
He told a story about gators.
But But honestly, like, you would not down the Cape Fear. You would. I mean, my dad and my uncle and my two uncles went actually like they went canoeing down there, but they knew they're not going to so down the street. So down to the street from my parents, there is like where I used to go run is like this nature preserve. Next to the nature preserve is like it's a place called like the 18th hole or something like that. It's like the Gator Hole or something. It's the Gator Hole. It's the Gator Hole where it's like fucking gators come up to the fucking side of the yeah. So it's like no, you're not going on a fucking date because you know what's gonna happen? Someone's gonna fall in and be eaten by a goddamn gator.
Yep,
that's what's gonna happen. So, but I did laugh because where they're at is going right past my mom and dad's house. Like, it's like pretty fucking close to my mom and dad's house. I was like, oh, I bet you they did. I bet you they fell right out where my mom and dad's house. I was like, oh, cool. So, that made me happy. But
I did, at that point, I texted you and I was like, so is there like a rain scene in every single Nicholas Sparks movie?
There is.
There's in Dear John, there's a rain scene. And The Notebook, there's a rain scene.
We're going to get to it.
Okay.
All
right.
So then we get to. So we're gonna split to the if we're gonna compare the two, where he finds out. So we talked about the APB, the nationwide APB about this first degree murder, you know. And so the fucking bumbling police force, obviously, in Southport has put this picture up of the worst fucking picture of Katie up on the goddamn wall.
A ridiculous rendering.
Yeah, it was like, oh my God, it was like a photoshopped up on the wall. And
a poorly done one, not like a professional Photoshop job. We're talking like...
No, it was like, oh my God, like I did it. And so Alex sees it, and he rips it off the wall, and he takes it to her, and he starts screaming at her.
Yeah, he gets really mad at her.
About, like, are you a liar? This is first... I mean, it was upsetting. Like, I was upset. Because...
Yeah, but also, I was also irritated and frustrated by that. However, think about, like, where, in the movie, Alex doesn't know about any of this shit. Doesn't know that she's lied about her name.
Right.
And he has allowed her into his life with his two children.
I'm also seeing the other side of things. I'm also seeing...
Well, you're seeing the book side, yes.
Right.
But, like, just looking at the movie...
Right.
And none of that backstory with Alex is there. None of that shit exists. He had no idea. He was totally blindsided by this. And now he's like, I have let this woman into my life and into my children's lives. And they
I get
like
it.
her.
I totally get it. Yeah.
Like, I understood why he was angry. I totally understood why he was angry.
At the same time, so they, like, she's like, fuck, I'm out of here. Like, I'm leaving. So she packs up her shit and she gets on the ferry to go. Mm-hmm. And I don't see... So all of a sudden he starts chasing after her. I don't really know why.
In the movie?
Yeah.
I think he just realizes that he's...
I mean, yes. But there's nothing that's like an impetus to what he'd be like, oh, fuck, I need this woman. Oh, my God, she's not a liar. Like, all of a sudden I believe her. Like, that was pretty rough. That was pretty fucking rough what he said to her. And all of a sudden he's like, I believe you. I know
and, like,
you're
literally
abused.
within a couple hours. Like, she had gone home to pack and then had, like... left for the
and
ferry.
He went upstairs to his wife's room. And that was it. Right? That was enough for him to be like, I guess the ghost got to his brain. It was like, she's not a bitch.
Yeah.
She's not a liar.
She's just been through a lot of shit.
She's got a magical pussy.
Wow. Okay. Can we just go ahead and jump to that? So in the book,
they don't... sex scene?
Yeah, there's no sex.
Oh, that's right, because it's right before this. So, FYI,
because this all happens, like, he finds out after they've slept together.
Yeah. So, where were they going? What did they do before they slept together?
They have dinner?
No, wait.
Yeah, I think they had. It wasn't the night of the canoe.
No, but it was something where he dropped her off because
I think they went out to dinner.
Oh shit! What were they doing? No, because when they went to dinner, wait, I don't remember. Anyhow, they end up fucking. They do fucking in the movie. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. So I felt like the tension had been. There was no edging in this one. No. There was some thrusting.
It was sweet scene.
It was a good scene. It was a good scene.
But in the book, they don't have sex.
They don't have sex. The only sex is literally the fucking raping.
Again, why is that in there? And why are there no trigger warnings on this book then?
I don't know. Because again,
you, Nicholas Sparks.
Jacking off to your tears, Scott Tenderman. So he catches her on the ferry and he's like, "You need to come back. I love you." Blah 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 blah. And so she says, "Yes, I'll come back." So they go back to his house at this point. Like, the cottage is gone.
Yeah, the cottage disappears at this point.
Because in the book, the cottage plays a big part of the ending, but it's fine.
By cottage, we mean shack. Her shack. Like, I don't know if she ever
in the
goes
book,
back to
it's a cottage, but yeah, in the fucking book, it's a fucking shack. Let's see.
I do have a question for you. How many... Is this book written in third person or first?
Oh, God. I'm trying to think. Third person.
Okay.
Third person.
How many different point of views are you getting? You get the abusive husband, then hers. Do you also get Alex's?
Alex. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Let's just talk. Can we talk about their date real quick? What the fuck is about Alex talking about gorillas eating kale?
Oh, yeah.
Is this movie financed by the Kale Council? What the fuck is that? Like, he's talking about, like, gorillas being really strong and all of a sudden, like, eating kale. I was like, the fuck the hell?
That was, like, a really weird...
it was a weird tangent.
Now that you've said... that in the book, like, she wasn't buying meat because it was expensive, like, maybe that's how they kind of tied in that, like, she's justifying not eating a lot of meat. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
No, because she says, he goes, like, "Or are you a vegetarian?" She's like, "Why would you think I'm a vegetarian?" He's like, "Because I never see you buy meat." She goes, like, "Well, I just can't afford it." Like, pretty much, like, yeah. So
I'm sorry, Luna and Sherman just, like, in the back.
We see someone, they're like, "Wah, wah."
They just had like a little tiff.
Hi,
Luna.
Hi. What's up, baby? Okay, they're gonna fight.
Oh, they're gonna have an argument back there.
So this is around the second time that I had to Shazam another song, which is the Brandy Carlisle song.
Put Brandy Carlisle in everything.
Fuck yes. Okay, so let's just talk about these fucking kids. These fucking kids are cock blocks. Fucking big time. Fucking cock blocks in the movie, because in the book they're just the sweetest fucking things. Like, they're the ones they kind of are the impetus for him to start to really, like, her to love him. Like, they are...
In the movie, I did like that Lexi was, like, intentionally trying to push them together.
And to a point where she was like, "Where were you? You didn't fucking tuck me in." I'm like, "Listen, little bitch, fuck you."
That was a little, like, how do I say this? That was not, like, in line with what... It wasn't consistent with what she had been doing. But then again, she's a child. Right. So then, like, in my mind, I was like, well, she wouldn't have put that together. Like, she wouldn't remember her parents together. So she wouldn't have any... She might not understand that, like, if he's dating someone, he won't be there every night for her. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of was like, all right, like, that... She probably didn't realize that what she was doing would then change her life and her relationship with her dad.
Probably not. Like, I mean...
How old is she? Like 7? I mean, she's little.
So, in the book, she's around 5. And then Josh is around, like, 9 or 10, I think.
Okay.
And Josh loves Katie in the book. Like, both of them love Katie. Like, in fact...
In the movie, I felt like the Josh liking her thing kind of was like a light switch. Like, it just happened all of a sudden.
And I was like that. Yeah, I was like, all of a sudden, he's like, "I like her." I'm like, why?
Whereas there's been no indication that you actually liked her prior to this moment.
Right. Like, in the book, there's a point where Alex says, like, I guess there had been a party, like, of, like, kids from his class, and he didn't tell his dad, like, I guess it was like a birthday party or something like that. He didn't tell his dad to stay, but it was like all the parents were staying, all the moms were staying, and he didn't tell his dad because his dad would have felt weird. But he's like, did you not tell me because I'm not your mom? And she's like, well, I didn't want you to feel weird. And he's like, are you mad at me? And then at the end he goes, please don't, are you going to tell Katie? He's like, why would I, do you want me to tell Katie? He's like, no, I don't want her to be mad at me. And he's like, why? She won't be mad at you, but I won't tell her if you don't want me to tell her. He's like, I don't want you to tell her. Like, it's very sweet. And these kids are fucking amazing. And these kids in the fucking movie suck. Like, not Lexi doesn't suck, but Josh sucks in the book. Like, Josh fucking sucks.
Josh is, I mean, struggling with the death of his mom, so I don't know. Maybe we should cut Josh some slack.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, he is in the book, too, but he doesn't suck this much.
That's true.
Okay, somebody needs to shut the fuck up over there.
The children are fighting in the background.
They are. So, I did say, dude, these kids are cock blocks. There's a point where I had to laugh because Alex is looking up the sky. It's before they have sex. And then it turns to Katie. She's in bed looking up the sky. She can't sleep. And I was like, oh, this is where the wanking starts, right? Somebody wanks. Nobody wanks? Okay, cool.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for it. I was like, okay, this is where.
Maybe it's implied.
No, because he gets up and he goes up to the mother's.
Oh, right. He goes up to the mother's room. Oh, God. That was after they kissed for the first time.
I was like, the mother's room? What the fuck is this? Like, no one else can go upstairs in the fucking store? I was like, I'd be storing shit up there. I'd be like, okay, well, I need extra room for the fucking bottles of wine I got here. Sorry, kid. Fuck off. I'm not a ghost. All right, so then we get to, what's his name? Kevin. Kevin has actually, at this point, broken in to the neighbor's house.
Mm-hmm.
And
in the movie, not in the book.
In the movie, not in the in the book. No, in the book he got the information from the daughter. Mm-hmm. But so in the movie, he's broken into their house, stolen their liquor. I was like, I was completely confused. I was like, how did he back up? I didn't understand what house he was in with the blood. I was like, did he kill the people? I didn't get it until all of a sudden, like, he had the recipe on his foot. I was like, oh, he's in his own house. Like, I didn't get it.
Oh, because he had gone in, like, the night before.
Yeah. But then he completely breaks in.
He breaks into the Feldman house after that.
Yeah. And then he gets because Katie has left a message for
Mrs. Feldman. Saying, like, you asked me to let you know when I reached a safe place, and I have reached a safe place. And he recognized her voice, of course.
Yeah.
And this is definitely after he's lost his badge.
Yes. Yeah, because, like, they're like, dude.
Because he gets suspended.
Yeah, you put a fucking nationwide APB out, you're done, dude.
Right.
And, like.
For murder, which did not occur.
Right, because his boss is like, you're a dickhead. Like,
so here's my question about, like, book versus movie, right? Mm-hmm. I guess in the book, so the fight didn't happen.
No.
All right. So even in the movie, let's just say, how is it that this man...
He does get suspended in the book.
Fair. But in the movie...
For drinking. Yeah.
Again, fair. I'm glad they finally noticed. But, like, my question for the movie then is, how is it that this dude managed to be injured badly enough that he would have needed medical attention, and he somehow gets to go back to his job with, like, no questions? His wife is missing. And there have been... Do you see what I mean? Like, are there...
Oh, no, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
There are, like, a lot of questions that if,
because
like...
no one on his squad was like, I'm not gonna hunt down your wife.
Well, and, like, his captain or his sergeant or whoever was not like, hey, you were injured pretty bad and now your wife is missing. So, like, I don't know, maybe there's something we need to, like, investigate here. Like, are you abusing her, or, like...
Well, that
what happened? Like,
when her thought was, and it's probably true, it would never have happened. They wouldn't have said.
Possible.
So I wrote, well, I guess we got some sex. All that Josh Duhamel couldn't go to waste. You couldn't have all that naked Josh Duhamel and not, like, fucking put him in a grinded it situation. Again, I also have a note that just says, like, all caps, "This is not how it happens. Book Alex is the best." I think that's where he comes on. I know that's where he comes in. He was like, he told her to get the fuck out.
Yeah. All right. So can we skip ahead to
the big-headed Ben Franklin?
Oh, right. That is weird.
That's really fucking weird.
It was funny to me that I had forgotten about that entire 4th of July angle.
Yeah.
In the movie. I assume it's like similar in the book. Is that a thing? Like, no? No? Okay. Well, last night I was like, as I was watching this movie and they keep talking about fireworks and shit, that's when my asshole new neighbors decided to go out and like set off a shit ton of fireworks, like large scale, in the sky, massive, like I would have seen at the fucking fairgrounds, like at midnight or something last night. That's when this was, and I was like, I texted you and I was like, it actually is sort of fitting that we're talking about this 4th of July weekend.
Oh, well, and I was reading that one book too about the Cowboys. It was July 4th too. It was about the. No,
how did this like just come up all of a sudden?
So yes, it does. I believe it does take place around the same time, but
like the parade thing is not.
I would like to talk about the ending of the book because the ending of the book is, oh my god, 100 times better.
Okay, so here's my question. In the movie, so the whole 4th of July like celebration is happening. Kevin has reached the town. He's fucking wasted.
He throws a water bottle full of vodka at a random person. Yep.
I mean, he's like unhinged. So he sees her dancing with Alex and the kids. Mm-hmm. Does that happen in the book?
Nope.
Okay. Now, after that, Alex and Josh go to set off fireworks. And she stays back at the house with Lexi. Now, Lexi falls asleep, she falls asleep, and she wakes up because of a dream she has where Joe comes to her and says, "He's here." And she says, "Who's here?" And she says, "You know who. He's here." And that's what wakes her up. Does that happen in the book?
Yes and no.
Yes and no? What the fuck does that mean?
Okay, so you've explained what happened in the book, or in the movie. Can I explain what happens in the book?
Yes.
Okay, so what happens in the book is that he gets into town. He doesn't talk to really anybody. So he doesn't talk to...
Because in the movie, he talks to Lexi.
He does not.
Okay.
In the book.
And Lexi lies to him.
Yeah, there's no interface between him and the kids at all.
Good.
So what he does is he's, supremely hammered. Like a lot of and I hate to say it, but like him going down to North Carolina, I didn't read a lot of it because I didn't fucking care.
Right.
Because again, we don't need to give him a voice.
I'm super annoyed that he has a voice in this book.
Yeah. So, but by the time he gets to Southport is when I start actually picked up his story again. And he does, so it doesn't make a lot of sense because he's fucking hammered because he's been drinking bottles of vodka on the way down.
Yeah, and it shows him like drinking while he's driving.
Like handles
just a really
of vodka.
Supreme example of like setting a good example for humans.
Yeah.
As like a law enforcement officer.
I mean, a lot of when he gets down to the town is what happens. Like he runs into things and blah, 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 blah. But so he gets down to town and I'm trying to remember. So he does see them. He sees them at the carnival. So there's a carnival going on. It's not so much a parade and dance and stuff. He sees them at the carnival. And he sees them waiting for the kids. And he recognizes the two of them are together. So he's debating whether he's going to kill, as he keeps calling him, gray-haired man in front of Katie, or if he's going to just like he's going to kill all of them. Like it's just like in his brain he keeps thinking like I'm going to kill gray hair in front of Katie, or I'm going to kill the kids in front of Katie. Like it's back and forth. So at the same time, Alex is taking Joyce, who is
so
like
glad this abusive man has access to weapons.
Yeah. So Joyce is like the Roger. Well, Roger is a character in the book too, but Joyce is like another character. I would expect, she's kind of like the woman at Ivan's, like the older lady, like
the owner.
Yeah, like, but she helps out at the store. So yeah, so Joyce has to go pick up her kid at the airport. So Alex takes her to Raleigh because Raleigh's about 4 to 5 hours away from Wilmington.
Okay.
Sorry, it's 2 hours. It's 2 hours to Raleigh, and then when you wait and you come back, it's gonna be 4 to 5 hours altogether.
Okay.
And so Katie's like, well, you get back early enough, and or if you get back too late and I can't make it home, and you can ravage my body. And he's like, well, hello. So in the book, okay, so how do you want to do this? Do you want to talk about the movie and I'll talk about the book?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so once you talk about the movie and then I'll talk about the book.
All right. So how this rolls, how like the climactic scene in it's not in a sexual way, happens in the movie is that it's the 4th of July, the parade has happened, like the celebrations have happened, and now it's time for the fireworks. Now, for an inexplicable reason, Alex helps set off the fireworks every year with the sheriff's office, like with his friend, the cop. So
Rhett,
yes, that's his name. So he leaves Katie with Lexi / Kristen. Josh decides that he wants to go with Alex. So he leaves to go do the fireworks thing. Now, this is like across the river, I guess it would be.
which is a bunch of bullshit. Yeah,
Right. Like, so like they're I don't know, on like a dock of the bay. But like he can see the store and the house from where he is. And that's the important part. So he leaves to go do the firework thing. In the meantime, she and Lexi have fallen asleep on the couch in the store, like in the back of the store.
On the first floor.
On the first floor. As we have alluded to in the past, the second floor is like his ex-wife's or his dead wife's space. Like that was some sort of space that she used to like write or do whatever it was that she did up there. It was mom's space. That's mom's space. That's what Josh says a lot. So they both fall asleep. And in the movie, Katie has a dream where Joe comes to her and says, he's here. She says, who? He says, you know who, he's here. And that is what wakes Katie up. And it freaks Katie out. And so she sits up, leaves Lexi where she is, and then goes out into the store. And he's there. Kevin is there. So she says, I'll talk to you, but only, like, we have to go outside. So she gets Kevin outside. They talk. She convinces him to leave.
She's going to leave with him.
No, not at first. She convinces him to leave. And then she goes back inside and takes Lexi. She wakes Lexi, or no, Lexi has gone out, like wandered outside to the dock and is watching the fireworks from the dock. She goes and finds Lexi outside, takes her upstairs to mom's room and says, you'll be safer up here. Stay here. Don't move. Katie goes back downstairs to look for Kevin. She's trying to like call anyone, but no one's answering the phone. I think she's trying to call Alex.
She tries to call Alex. I think she tries to call the police department. I think she tries to call pretty much anybody.
Yeah, and no one's fucking answering because, again, in the movie version of this tiny town, like everyone is wrapped up with fireworks right now.
Right, fireworks.
So she realizes that she sees that he is like dumping. He's using the gasoline from like there's a gas tank where like buses and whatnot will fuel up. So he's like dumping that all around the exterior, wherever he can reach, to light the fucking place on fire. And she knows that. Right. So she goes outside. She sees him like with a lighter in his hand. He's obviously lit out of his fucking mind and is sitting on like a bench outside, like flicking this lighter open. And so she goes outside and she like closes the lighter and she's like, I'm sorry. I'll go home with you. Please take me home. She's trying to just get him away from Lexi. Get him away from like the store. Well, in the meantime, she does convince him, like, just take me home. And they start to kind of like wander a little bit, a couple feet away from where they were, basically. And a fucking firework spark lands in the gasoline and lights the fucking place on fire. Of course, Lexi is is on the second floor of the store. Now, Alex sees it and flips out, and then hops in a little boat and goes across like the river or whatever. He does get Lexi out in a really tense fucking moment. And then in the meantime, I forget what she does. Like, she eventually shoves him or something. Like, she gets him away from her, and he falls in the water. Kevin does.
She does that before.
It has to be after the fire starts. Because then they start physically fighting.
Yeah.
And so she, like, is able to shove him away or something. Mm-hmm. Or maybe she does that before the fire actually starts. And when she turns around, like...
Yes.
It lights up.
Because when she turns around is when the fire starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he, of course, gets out of the water, and they start, like, having a physical altercation. Now, in the meantime, he also... The first time they spoke, like, he got out like a gun and pointed it at her. Mm-hmm. So he still has the gun. Thinking about it, would it actually fire if he fell in the water? But who knows? So I'm not a firearms expert. He falls in the water, gets out. They start having a physical altercation. In the meantime, Alex is getting Lexi out of the second floor. They wrestle around on the ground, Katie and Kevin. And then there's a gunshot. You find, obviously, she survives. He dies.
Right to his face.
Yeah, yeah. You know what surprised me about that is that she has no blood spatter on her. He is on top of her. And she somehow manages, through fucking willpower and adrenaline, I guess, because truthfully, like, how would a woman her size overpower a man his size, who's laying on top of her, shoots him, like, in the face,
point blank.
Yeah,
pretty much quick.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Anyway,
so
that's basically what happens. Is that
that's the movie? Here's the book.
Yeah.
So the book is Alex takes Joyce and Joyce to pick up her daughter at the airport in Raleigh.
Okay.
So he asks Katie to stay with the kids at night, and she's like all excited because she's never really been at the house. Mm-hmm. So in the book, the house is above the store.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. So she's excited because she's never really been at the house. So, like, the kids are in bed, they're asleep, and she's falling asleep on the couch. And the same thing sort of happens as Joe comes to her and says, "He's here. Who? You know who. He's here." And she wakes up because she starts to smell, because Kevin has gone in. He runs into Roger in the store, and he starts to fill up the gas cans. He fills up gas cans and pours it all over the house and the store.
Where's Roger during this?
Roger's left at this point.
Okay.
Like, Roger's done for the night. The store's closed. So when she wakes up, she starts to smell and hear fire. So she gets the kids up. At this point, they try to go out the door. It's like it's a inferno. Like,
downstairs.
He has started the fire downstairs. So they get out through. They start to go out through Alex's bedroom. So she gets the kids out, and she's looking over at the wall. She sees a picture, and she looks at it, and she's like, I recognize it, but I really look at it really quickly. I wanted just to get, like, what she does is she wraps the kids in a comforter. She breaks the window with a rocking chair, and she gets the kids out in the front porch.
Okay.
Or sorry, on the landing. Or sorry, the
like the awning over the front porch.
Yeah, the stoop.
Okay.
And then she knows that she's gonna throw herself off the building. Mm-hmm. She wants the kids to land on top of her.
Yeah. Okay.
Because she's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Well, so literally everything. Like, yeah, that all tracks as like someone who's trying to like take care of children.
She does. She throws herself off the fucking off of the first floor, like, roof, and pulls the kids with her. They land on top of her.
She dies?
No. She thinks at one point she has broken everything.
Okay.
Like, she's like, but she can start to move her legs. and she realizes that she's not paralyzed. But like she pulls the she pulls she pulls the kids off of the first. Okay, so she gets so she gets the kids off of the landing. She pulls them off, and that's where she doesn't realize. She realizes she's not fucking paralyzed because she's landed on her back.
I'm sure that hurts.
And then she's going to take the kids, and she's going to pull them like by their she's going to take them over the side of what's left down to the ground. It's still 10 feet.
That's a long drop. I mean,
it is to drop them down. So she drops both kids down, and then she drops herself down because there's no one to catch her.
Yeah.
So she lands on her knees. Yep.
Sure, that hurts.
This fucking bitch is like, she's a survivor. I'm like, you go, girl.
Think about it. She's probably been through worse, honestly.
She's been through a lot. So the kids and her get up and they start to run. And here comes fucking Kevin with his gun. So he's coming after him, and then she pushes the kids behind her and like kind of like trying to make them because he's fucking hammered. Like he's been drinking since he's been driving. I mean, I can't even tell you how much
he can't be able to aim very well.
No, at the points they say he sees two of her. So, she starts to do that. Well, she does in the movie too. She's like, "I love you, baby. I'll come back home with you." Blah blah blah. Because she knows that's what he wants to hear.
Right.
Just to get him away from the kids. And she just keeps telling the kids, "Fucking run! Just run!" And so the kids do. They run. And he starts to beat the shit out of her. Like, he starts punching her in the head, pistol whipping her. I mean, it's rough. It's fucking rough. And so she's like, again, this is all because she wants a distraction from the kids to get away. So
fuck you, Nicholas Sparks.
It's rough. So, I'm trying to think of how the kids start running to her cottage. I think it's how it is. The kids run to the cottage. Yeah. The kids run to the cottage. At some point, Alex, on his way home, has started to see the fire. And so he's driving home, and he starts, like, obviously, like, so he, like, gets home, and he sees that there's a fucking fire. He drives into the shed. As he's driving past Kevin, he hits his hand, which has the gun in it, breaks his hand.
Nice.
Luckily. Gun goes crazy, wherever it goes. And she ends up, and Katie ends up grabbing it. And at the same time, Kevin's sober enough to realize the kids aren't there anymore. They're at her house. So he starts running towards the house.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And so Katie starts to realize that, like, oh my God, he's going to go find the kids.
Some people deserve to die.
Well, we get there. So Alex pulls up because he's driven into a shed, and she's like, he's going towards the kid. So she jumps in the. By the way, she's fucking landed off a roof.
Right, like how
is
roofs. Adrenaline is an amazing chemical.
Yeah, because she's been beat the shit out of. So then they get to the house, and then they get to her cottage, and the kids are inside, and Kevin starts going up, and Alex runs in, and somehow I can't remember right now how it works out, but Kevin hits Alex in the head with a crowbar. Yeah, like Alex should have been dead. Like, it was bad. Alex goes down pretty bad, and Katie screams at the kids, lock the door, lock the door, lock the door. So she's outside with Kevin, and they're fighting. Like, he's punching her, she's punching him. She's a fucking badass. Like, she's a fucking badass. This is what made me so mad about this goddamn movie. And so what happens is they're struggling, and the gun is between them. It's the same thing in the movie, but she shoots him in the stomach instead of the face, and he dies. But like, she does shoot him, but she's a mess. Like, she's like, I mean, her face is a fucking mess. She has, I mean, I would think a broken something.
Probably
like,
lots of broken things.
She's got a lot of broken things. Alex goes to the hospital because
of course. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
head wound, severe head wound.
He has a head wound, And he doesn't leave for a couple days because he can't remember what happened.
I'm sure he has a concussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
I've had one of those. It's not pleasant.
no. So they leave and they're looking at the charred remnant of, I mean, because it's not just the store, it's his house too. But he luckily had kept a safe that had the letters in it. And there's only 2 letters. There's not like
not
a
a
whole
bunch?
There's not a whole bunch. No, that was another thing that pissed me off. It was just 2 letters. One is to him.
One is
and
to
one
her.
Is to one is to the woman that he falls in love with.
Okay.
And those are saved. So, and this is the other thing that pissed me off is like you don't get a lot of closure. You get some closure. You don't get. It's like she's upset. Like she's like how we all would be. Like he's gonna blame me because I put his kids in danger. His house is burnt. All of his memories are burnt up. But he's like, I love you. I will always love you.
But she also saved his children.
Yes, but there's still like you have survivor's guilt. Like there's still that bit of it.
Yeah.
And so he's like, he doesn't they're things. They're things. Because she's like, I want to buy Kristen a new doll. He's like, I'm insured. You don't need to buy her a doll. He's like, no, I need to buy her a doll. Aww. And
poor Katie / Aaron.
Right. And he's like, what are your plans? And she's like, kind of like, well, what are your plans? And he's like, whatever yours are. And so like, they're going to be together, but you don't get that. You don't get that. Like, do you want to marry me? You don't get a proposal. You don't get any of that stuff.
Well, you don't really get that in the movie either. Like you get the reading of the letter and that's it.
Yeah. But in the book, you get the reading of the letter and that's it. You don't even get the, like, she goes to, go back with them at the end. Yeah.
Fuck you, Nicholas
It's the reading of the letter and that's the fucking end. So in the same as the movie. So it's Joe is a ghost.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, right. I'm not a ghost. So Joe's a ghost. Joe is actually Carly. She's Carly Joe. Her name is Carly, but she goes by Joe. And she wrote this letter because she wanted to write it to the person that fell in love with her husband next after she passed away. And it's super sweet and nice and whatever. But at the same time,
that part is really like heart-wrenching in the movie.
It is. And in the book, I have to say, like, I did get a little teary-eyed at the end because it was very sweet. Like, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine trying to write a letter for somebody that, like, I just couldn't. I couldn't imagine that. And, that's awesome. Like, again, it sucks because it's Nicholas Sparks. Mm-hmm. So, fuck him. Mm-hmm. But that's how it ends. And so you assume that they're together. I mean, I would assume that the two of them get married and have... Because he keeps saying, do you want more kids in the book? Do you want... The best... Okay, so here's the line that I fucking love. He goes like, what do you want to do with your life? She's like, I've always wanted to be married and be a mother. He's like, well, I thought I just asked you if you wanted to have kids. She goes, what does that have to do with anything? Meaning that she wants to be the mom to his kids. Aww. And I was like, that's pretty awesome. Like, thank you. I mean, I'm like, Nicholas Sparks, that was a pretty good line. That was awesome. I mean, I have to say, there were some lines that I was actually like,
I'm not saying he's a bad writer.
No, he's not. And I don't either. But let's get into the Nicholas Sparks conversation now. Because we're going to make this 2 hours, I guess.
Fucking apparently. All right, should we take like a brief recess and come back and bitch about Nicholas Sparks for
Let's do it.
A little bit? Okay. All right. BRB. And we're back.
Oh, let's talk about this bitch, because I got so many fucking notes.
First and foremost, let's reiterate again. I don't think he's a bad writer. I think he actually is kind of a gifted writer. I have issues with how he chooses to use that gift.
No, I'm going to agree. Like, he, as I said, as I was reading this, I said, there's times, especially with Alex and Katie, that I got butterflies. I got that butterflies that I get with every romance novel. Like, especially with Alex. Fucking Alex is well written. Like, he just is what you want him to be. He's ex-military, but he's ex-military and he understands women, and he's sweet and thoughtful, and I mean, not that every time that I'm just saying that's just what we all want them. We want to be protective,
of course.
And so yeah, I mean, he writes Alex well. Yes, movie Alex is droopy, and I enjoyed him too, but book Alex rules. Book Alex is way better.
The book is usually better than the movie.
Not all of them. We've talked about this before.
Not all of them, no. But I feel like, generally speaking.
In this instance, I'm going to say yes, because fucking Katie is kick-ass. Like, she's a fucking badass at the end of this. Like, she protects those kids, like, with the skin of her teeth. She does. So let's talk about Nicholas Sparks. So I have a lot of notes about Nicholas Sparks.
All right, so I guess
So Nicholas Sparks, for the most part, Sparks writes his stories with Hollywood in mind. He has on occasion written the screenplay before the novel, and 9 of his books have been turned into films, collectively grossing about $1 billion. So 11 of his books now at this point, this was an old number, 11 of his books have been made into movies.
I would say it's arrogant to write a screenplay before you write the novel, but like at this point, if 11 of his books have been turned into, and they all do well, right? I mean,
right. He's a pharmaceutical rep from New Bern, North Carolina, who realized, he was like, oh, I could possibly make money writing romance novels. Now, let's just put let's put a sticker on that about romance novels.
And also, pharmaceutical reps make bank.
He's a decent looking guy. Like, now he looks kind of like, like a 58-year-old man. But like at the time,
who has spent some time with a plastic surgeon / Botox specialist.
Yeah, like he's got a big wide grin, and he needs a little bit more work, let's just say that. if we're going to talk about it, if we're going to rip him apart, because I think we should, because I have a feeling that his wife left him in 2015. I have a feeling he was fucking around on her.
Wouldn't surprise me, unfortunately.
It wouldn't surprise me in the least. So he's a horrible person.
I hope she got part of that money.
I have a feeling she's a horrible person too, so it's okay. Like, it's two horrible people that are like, because they're all horrible people, because when you hear about the racism and homophobia case that was up against them, that unfortunately he won because it's fucking North Carolina.
A lot of businesses left North Carolina.
Well, so it's weird. North Carolina, I fucking love.
Listen, I lived in Charlotte for a summer. I have very, very fond memories of North Carolina. I love it there.
I have been there since I was 13 years old. Mm-hmm. Like, that's my vacation place. That's my relatives live there. I fucking love it. I've tried to fucking move there and get job there so many goddamn years. I love it. At the same time, I recognize that it is a racist area. Mm-hmm. North Carolina, however, is probably less racist than South or Georgia or Alabama or Arkansas.
I don't know. I can't speak to it.
However, you still see it. You see it everywhere. At the same time, okay, so Nicholas Sparks and his wife started a school in North Carolina called Epiphany Academy.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Yep, they called it Epiphany Academy.
Why do they have any kind of expertise that would qualify them to start
a school? They don't!
Oh,
Guess
okay.
what? They don't! They don't. They don't. They love, the Lord, which is fine.
I was going to say, is this like a religious?
Oh, they're
affiliated school?
Catholic. It's fine. Don't worry about it. They love the Lord.
I would say most Catholics I know, though, and I know a lot of them because I was raised Catholic, would not be like, hey, I should start a school. You know what I mean? Like they
if you're up your own asshole, you would.
I suppose.
Just like Nicholas Sparks. Because he's up his own asshole. And
he seems pretty arrogant.
Yeah, so he started the school, and he's like, you know what I want? For a headmaster, I'm going to pick this man who's 64 years old and an Orthodox Jew for my, yeah, that's the look I had. I was like, I'm sorry.
That doesn't really seem to track with your Catholicism.
Okay, so what he did was he's like, they had a lot of similar views on a lot of similar things. And he's like, okay, cool. So then this gentleman gets into the school, and this gentleman's like, oh, fuck, what the fuck did I join into?
Well, right, like, you'd think that if you were...
It was brand new. It was brand new.
But isn't there, like, a business plan written? I mean, like, isn't there kind of... Someone super Catholic is, like, forming a school? Like, do you think that a Catholic person's going to, like, make a Jewish school? Okay, your face... I'm just,
so
there's nothing wrong with either. Like, this is not a commentary on Catholicism or Jewish.
No,
like,
it's not.
It has nothing to do with it.
Hold
I'm just
on.
saying,
let me pull up the story about
maybe
this whole
those
thing.
things don't, like, if you're talking about teaching people, I don't know, you might have, like, some different values. It's just all I'm saying.
But since 2014, members of the Epiphany School Board of Trustees, including Sparks, have been locked in a legal battle with the Academy's former headmaster and CEO, Saul Benjamin. I read that. I was like, he's Jewish, obviously. Like,
literally nothing about this is surprising to me.
No.
Okay.
Over what the latter describes as a pattern of harassment, racism, and homophobia.
Oh my God, shocking.
I know. Sparks and members of the board unapologetically marginalized, bullied, and harassed members of the school community. Right. Benjamin's attorneys wrote in a complaint that whose religious views and or identities did not conform to the religiously driven, bigoted preconceptions. Spark rejected the claim in a 29-page declaration to the court and a statement on Twitter posted after this article was first published. Sparks asserted that reporting on the headmaster's claims was not news and false. I mean, let's just say, guess what? I think he would say was fake news, and that some of the claims against him had been dismissed. Good thing that all of the emails that this fucker had sent to people came out, where he talked about how he did not want LGBTQ groups on campus. Finally, we spent way too much in the first few months talking about tolerance, diversity, non-discrimination, and LGBT in these first 12 weeks. There was no simmering hidden problem with any of these issues, at least as far as the school or school personnel or school policy was concerned. Nor was there simmering problems within the student body. What you should be talking about, and what we hope to hear over the rest of the year, is information about faculty mentoring and curriculum development. So I mean, like, pretty much like, go fuck yourself about LGBTQ. Yep. He's awesome.
Honestly, this all tracks with North Carolina. Like, I'm sorry, but like, they have bathroom bills, and like, you know, like, it's not.
It's weird. I mean, like, because
this is why Hollywood has left North Carolina.
Well, to a point, because like I said, I don't know if were we recording or not when I said this is the San Francisco of the South. Like,
you did, but having that does not mean, like, I know people who have lost their jobs because Hollywood left. Like, Homeland used to be filmed in North Carolina. They are not anymore.
We're also talking about Atlanta. Atlanta, I mean, like, no one films in Atlanta anymore.
Well, also, Major League Baseball moved the All-Star game.
Yeah. So, I mean, but when you're talking about like a safe place for gay people, Wilmington is a safe place for gay people.
Sure, yeah. Like, so I mean, one city does not.
No,
a
but
state
what I'm
make,
saying,
when one state does not a city make. Like,
no. But what makes me angry is that he is such a fucking homophobe, and that one of his biggest movies glorifies one of the best cities in the South.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, you're a fucking homophobe.
Right.
So, okay, all right. So let's just talk about a little bit. Let me go back to my notes here, because yay. Sparks recently went on record as saying he's a great novelist. He's a greater novelist than Cormac McCarthy. This is true in the same sense that I am a better novelist than William Shakespeare. Sparks also said his novels are like Greek tragedies. This may actually be true. I can't check it out because tragically no real Greek tragedies have survived. To be sure, I resent the sacrilege Nicholas Sparks commits by mentioning himself in the same sentences as Cormac McCarthy. I would never even allow him to say, "Hello, bookstore. This is Nicholas Sparks. Could you send over the new Cormac McCarthy novel?" He should show respect by ordering anonymously. Roger Ebert, in his review of The Last Song, the movie Nicholas Sparks scribed.
That was from Roger Ebert?
Mm-hmm.
That's hysterical.
He thinks he's a better novelist than
Cormac McCarthy.
Cormac McCarthy.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. For reference, just to, pull this out there, Cormac McCarthy wrote No Country for Old Men.
He wrote, was it The Last Road? What is it? The Road.
The Road. He also
which is
wrote
fantastic.
All the Pretty Horses.
Yep.
He's like kind of, and by kind of, I mean excruciatingly prolific.
Yep.
He's still living. He's 87 years old. He's like perhaps one of the greatest American writers ever.
Sparks's issue was with Blood Meridian. That was what I was like, it doesn't fucking matter. Blood Meridian is like here. Here's where the Notebook is. Down here.
I mean,
on my boob.
I wouldn't say oh god, I like really have to digest that in a way that might just kill me slowly.
I mean, I don't care for. I mean, I like Cormac McCarthy. The Road fucking killed me. The Road killed me. But I would listen to The Road about 42 more times than The Notebook. Because let's just talk about The Notebook. So, guys,
you're very passionate right now.
So, I fucking had to read The Notebook as summer reading my senior year in fucking high school.
That's like really a tragedy. Because why? What kind
why?
Okay.
Why? My freshman year, I had to read Where the Red Fern Fucking Grows.
Yeah, we read that in middle school.
Middle school. I read my ninth.
I remember Ms. Kelly. That was my
ninth grade.
Holding your microphone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know someone who had to read Harry Potter as part of their high school curriculum. So I suppose it could get worse. Now, I love Harry Potter. I'm just saying,
I do too, but I mean,
I wouldn't
not
say
literature.
I wouldn't say that's like a thing that you should study in school.
No. And guess what? You shouldn't study in school. The fucking Notebook. I remember even then going like, I'm skipping. I'm like, well, I'm skimming. I remember there was a nursing home and I was like, whatever. And then all of a sudden there was this movie with Ryan, My Eyes Are Too Close Together Gosling. And
wow.
His eyes are too close together. It's fine.
Wow. Okay.
Am I the only one on this train? I guess I
don't know.
am.
I'm more of a Ryan Reynolds fan than a Ryan Gosling fan, so I don't know.
That's what I said. Ryan Gosling, his eyes are too close together.
I know. I'm just saying, like, of the Ryans, Gosling is not my choice.
He's not. No, I don't find him attractive. I think his face is too close together. All of the features are right in the middle. Anyhow, I think he's probably a nice man. I enjoy Drive. I don't care about The Notebook. I've never watched the movie The Notebook.
I've actually never seen the movie, nor
I haven't either.
I don't have a desire to watch it. It's going to be an emotional train wreck. Why
I don't give a fuck.
That?
I don't care. I don't care that he and whatever her fucking name is dated in real life. I don't give a fuck about.
don't care
Isn't
about
he
that.
with somebody else? Like now he's with
He's
like.
married to Eva Mendes.
Are they married or are they just together?
I thought they were
I don't
married.
fuck. You know what? I don't fucking care. I don't care. Anyhow,
This is stuff that doesn't need to live rent-free
doesn't
in my
matter.
brain. I have
No.
better shit to worry about.
all right. So let's go back to some things. So, all right. So there are.
Usually I'm like, get closer to the microphone, right? And now you're like,
My
on
mouth
top,
is
right? You're
like
so
right
angry.
here. There are a few ironclad rules in any world created by Nicholas Sparks. If you're a man, you have square shoulders and muscles that reflect your belief in a hard day's work. If you're a woman, you have striking emerald eyes and blonde hair, or hazel eyes to offset your cheekbones. If you own a farm, a harmonica-playing black man full of hard-earned wisdom lives next door. If you're Mexican, your parents own a restaurant and struggle to give you a better life. If you're a warehouse, you're located in a rundown neighborhood on the outskirts of town. If you're a thunderstorm, you roll up just as a woman with striking eyes with a man with square shoulders are about to kiss for the first time. That's obviously supposed to be satirical, but that's very true. Like we joke, we're like, there's somebody makes out with somebody in the rain in every goddamn fucking Nicholas Sparks movie.
I mean, did I watch A Walk to Remember? I don't remember.
I've seen it. I've not read it. I've seen it a couple times. I have a friend who has CP, so I've seen it. She loves it.
Yeah. Is there a rain scene in that one? Because they're young. Like, they're in high school.
I don't remember. I don't remember a rain scene, but I could be wrong. I remember the only scene I remember is the church scene where they get married.
He really does he likes it when women cry, right?
Nicholas Sparks is a gross
Here
human.
we go. Okay.
He refuses to say he writes romance.
Mic down.
Mic down, Veronica.
Mic down for you.
Me, I'm reading it.
So angry.
Nicholas Sparks is a gross human. He refuses to say he writes romance because it's a woman's genre, and he's too masculine and proud to write love lady books.
Who? What are you reading?
Okay, I will find this. I don't know where I found this from. It's a quote.
Oh my God, I'm so angry.
And says he created his own genre because called like love tragedy or some shit. What is straight up misery porn? He does not write women well. It's a giant homophobe and generally garbage. He is a giant homophobe and a general garbage human.
First of all, motherfucker, you did not invent like tragedy. You didn't.
Okay, so
you know
I
who
can't
did?
find the
Maybe the Greeks. Like it wasn't.
I can't
you.
find where he talks about why he's not. I don't have the quote where he says he's not a romance novelist.
But this brings up. Go ahead.
He says he's not a romance novelist because romance novels, for the most part, you're gonna be so mad.
I'm getting out my pen.
Are pretty much like pussy whipping the man. It is.
Do you have an address for Nicholas Sparks?
Taming the man. Yep, it's taming a man. Yep, that's what his thought is. He's the walking worst. He's the worst.
I don't know if I've ever seen like a more acute representation of toxic masculinity. So recently, so soon, like next month, we are going to go on vacation with friends of ours who have a couple kids. We're going to stay together in an Airbnb. And because we have this podcast, the husband in our group chat was like, hey, is there a romance novel that maybe we should all read beforehand? Right?
Oh my God, we can all do a big thing. Can we do that?
I mean, I was like, it's just that, should we all read a romance novel?
Yes!
And then like,
we have a big thing. Like, yes! Can we yes!
So anyway,
we'll talk about that off air. I'm losing my mind because like, what? Yes!
I know.
Okay.
I know. So anyway, he and I were like, the group chat, like we were all kind of going. Anyway, we'll obviously not be fucking Nicholas Sparks. I don't even remember why we went down this venture.
No,
but
fuck
like,
no.
I did say something about like something about men, like in general, being
Why are
most men just being shitty. But I was like, there is this. I do think more men should read romance novels. I truly do believe that,
Oh,
like
I think
as
so too.
a
Yeah.
general principle of life. But what in the middle of this whole conversation in the group chat, I was like, how awesome is it that like a man just said to us, is there like, do you have a recommendation for a romance novel that we should all read before we go on vacation together? And then we can talk about it, because I feel like that would really spark some interesting conversation.
Yes.
And I was like, I have always liked you, sir. I've known you for many, many years. But like,
Question's the first.
uh-huh.
Can we say Penny Reed?
Okay, we'll discuss this offline. But of course, I was like,
okay,
any
yes.
Penny Reed, like, hello.
Yeah.
But also, I was like, should I recommend a reverse harem? Like, I was just like, what are we looking for? Are we looking for like tame? Are we looking for funny? Are we looking for like super dirty? What are we looking for? Like, there's a lot. I was like, let me think on it.
I'm so excited now. I mean, like, we need to finish this up so we can talk.
Okay, so back to how shitty Nicholas Sparks is. Now, dear listener, I literally stabbed my notebook with a pen.
So I'm not
Stabbed it
joking
violently.
when I said I think he jacks off on women's tears.
I don't understand why. Okay, so he says
He
not.
doesn't think he's a romance. He's not
Right.
a romance.
So this was
novelist.
something that you and I had said, like, we want to discuss this question. Is Nicholas Sparks a romance author? Because
No.
right. So he even claims that he's not, which like is maybe the only smart thing he's ever said in his life. However, if you look at the definition of a romance novel, it centers around a love story, or at least has some sort of like a love story element to it. And there is either a happily ever after or a happily for now. Right? That's like the definition of a
Yeah.
romance novel. So I see why people think that he writes romance novels.
Well, we're also picking one out of a whole bunch.
Well, but
Like-
even look at the Notebook.
Because I'm trying to remember, like, Notebook ends quote unquote happy, but is it happy?
But is it? Because like, so in the movie,
I mean,
they,
this one is yes. I mean, like, I would assume they're together and they stay together.
right, you kind of, that's the assumption that you're left with.
That's the assumption. I mean, like, I don't know any of the other ones though.
Well, A Walk to Remember, she dies, so that's not fucking helpful.
No,
That's
But
not-
he
I
does-
mean-
no. Well, so the end, literally of Walk to Remember is he goes back to her family, and he makes like peace. And yes, she dies, but he like
But that's
Walk to Remember is not a romance novel. But I don't know. I mean, I honestly I guess because the what is that? What the fuck is that? What?
sorry.
Notebook.
Oh, the
The
Notebook.
Notebook. The Notebook is because like because at the end of it they're happy, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
At the movie or the book? Because I'm pretty sure in the book they die separately,
I don't remember.
and she
I
has
really don't remember.
Alzheimer's.
Well, they both have. Yes.
Is it? Like, I
I
just,
don't know.
I don't know. I understand why people think he writes romance novels, but also I don't know. I don't fucking know about that. I just don't know. So I did want to read, when I was looking at his fucking website, underneath Save Haven book frequently asked questions. I'm actually a little surprised he bothered to answer this question, because, so the question is, for the story's themes of domestic abuse, what kind of research did you have to do?
None.
That's the question. Here is the answer. less research than you would imagine. In fact, I did none.
Okay.
I am almost 45 years old. I've read newspapers my whole life. I've seen news shows on television. I've seen movies. I've read books. I've seen episodes of on U.S. commercial television. And I think everyone has a pretty clear idea of what domestic abuse means. The specifics in every situation are different, so I leaned on common sense and tried to create a female character and figure out how she would react in such circumstances. Now, based upon what you've told me, Katie/Aaron is a badass. And for that, Nicholas Sparks, I am grateful. However, fuck you that you did literally no research and just relied on pop culture knowledge.
Well,
he did no research? None.
No. I know. I mean, there's so much to hate him on. Literally, there's so much to hate him on.
As we've said many times, fuck you, Nicholas Sparks. It's just arrogant. It's so arrogant to just be like, I'm not going to do any kind of research on domestic abuse or... I mean, you're not surprised. I understand that.
I'm not surprised. I mean, honestly, he seems like a big fucking douchebag. So I'm not really surprised. He seems like that guy. He's up for a sale. I mean, I hate to say it. He's up for a sale.
So Amy Penza, who is the next...
I'm so excited!
Oh, I know. I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited to reread that book because I read it a couple years ago. That is a noisy, what is that, your keyboard thing? So one of her books, so the next one we're reading for the book club is Daughter of Rage and Beauty. Now, a different one that Amy Penza has written is called The Favored Wife or A Favored Wife. I forget what the article is at the very beginning, but it's something Favored Wife. Now, it's about a woman in a Mormon-esque community. I forget what it's exactly called. I know. We're not going to read it. Don't worry, honey. I know that is an issue. But my point is, there is a scene, there are a couple abuse scenes in the book. And her editor severely cut them back.
Oh, you're telling me about this.
And I know this because Amy told me. But what her editor said was, if I'm remembering this correctly, Amy can correct me, but if what I'm remembering is accurate, she was saying that her editor told her romance readers don't want to read all of these details about abuse. She had to the editor was like, I mean, you can do what you want, but I highly recommend that you cut these back, that you soften them.
Yeah.
Now, they were still difficult to read. I will not lie to you. But I mean, even so, when we were talking about Greer Rivers, that first book, Escaping Conviction, that's romantic suspense, right? So there's an entirely different element involved, but of course it's still got a romance element to it, and therefore it can be classified as a romance novel.
Right.
But the violent scenes and the violence against women is intense. I mean, that was difficult to get through. And you and I have talked before on previous episodes about can we please have fucking novels that do not surround or focus on violence against women? And right. I just
if they
feel
do can we have a trigger warning? Because there's no trigger warning.
And this is dear Nicholas Sparks, maybe you don't fucking care, but women are your audience. And most women...
He knows it. He fucking knows it.
He knows it. He does it on purpose. You need to put a fucking trigger warning on your shit.
Because it's rough. I'm not lying when I said, I skipped it because I couldn't handle it.
I don't want to read that.
No, I mean, it's...
I'm not going to read a rape scene. I'm not going to do that.
The punching and the kicking and everything like that was rough. And then she's got to pretend like she's not like pissing blood, and pretend to love him so that he like and talk him up while he's fucking her. Like, yes, it's not a rape, but it's a rape.
Also,
it's a fucking rape.
Like you had said that there's a lot of like point of view from Kevin's perspective in the book.
Yeah, I don't fucking care. I don't care about fucking Kevin's
just like
perspective.
you're just giving the abuser a voice.
Yep.
Great, thanks, Nicholas Sparks.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't because like literally
because you quote don't write romance novels.
I mean, I guess because like if you don't have it, then you don't have it at the end. But bullshit. It's bullshit. I mean, it doesn't matter. You don't need that. I don't need to know that he cheated on her after she left. I don't. Of
course.
Because he thought he cheated on her. I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter. She's gone. Who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
I just don't need all of that.
It was all hallucination afterwards. It doesn't fucking matter. It's whatever.
Ugh. Gross.
Whatever.
I just have no desire to read Nicholas Sparks. I really, truly don't.
At this point, I'm, you know what? I'm done it. I'm good.
And the more I've like learned about him, the less I like him.
So that's what really hurt me, this whole thing. It was like, I'm trying to see if I have any more things to add because I don't want to make anybody else mad.
His biography. Nicholas Sparks is one of the world's most beloved storytellers.
Fuck off. So, I mean, like, just besides his, I mean, we already talked about the, and I hate that, I hate that he won that fucking lawsuit. The lawsuit against his creepy church school that he has. I'm looking to see if I think I read all of the, I read all the stuff about. Yeah,
he is a major contributor to the creative writing program at the University of Notre Dame, which is not surprising because it's an extremely Catholic college.
Catholic. Yep. There's one thing I did not.
I think he went to Notre Dame. As a former full scholarship athlete, he still holds a track and field record at the University of Notre Dame.
Great.
Okay, braggart.
Cool.
Okay.
Guess what? I know a lot of people from there. Okay, so Nicholas Sparks launches broadside at Cormac McCarthy. I must admit, I love when an author slaps another author down, especially when they make a bit of a prat of themselves while doing it, especially when they risk committing career suicide, which is exactly what Nicholas Sparks has done after revealing, among other things, that he's not the biggest fan of Cormac McCarthy. Cormac McCarthy? Horrible. That is probably the most pulpy, overwrought, melodramatic cowboy versus Indian story ever written. Sparks was referring to McCarthy's novel Blood Meridian, the same novel that Time magazine voted as being one of the top 100 English language novels published between 1923 and 2005, and that finished as runner-up in the 2006 New York Times poll of the most important American fiction of the last 25 years. The same novel that, as far as I understand, is widely regarded as McCarthy's finest work. Of course, Sparks is entitled to his opinion, though he really ought to have kept it to himself. Attacking other authors, especially those with the stature of McCarthy, is generally considered to be poor form. You can only really get away with that if you're a highly successful and respected author in your own right, i.e. Stephen King dismissing Stephanie Meyer and Terry Pratchett having a dig at J.K. Rowling. Thank you, Terry Pratchett. R.I.P. The general online reaction to Sparks' comment involves repeated use of the word douchebag. So, cool for you. Oh, you know, we're talking about Terry Pratchett. Oh my God. So, guess what, guys? Good Omens. There's going to be a sequel.
I love you so much.
There's going to be a Good Omens too.
Of course there is. I'm glad.
In fact, I got a notice today that I can go work on Good Omens if I want to in Scotland. Right? So I might be doing... Ray might be doing this podcast from Scotland.
Sounds good to me. We'll work out the time difference. It'll be fine.
Right? Me and David Tennant throwing a leg over.
I feel like you should.
I know.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Right.
Oh my God.
So that's all I have about Nicholas Sparks. I hate him so much. It's fine.
Yeah. This is a long page to screen. These aren't usually this long.
No, they're not. But I mean, I think
it's like a full movie and a full book. It's not like usually it's like a novella and a 10-minute movie, you know?
I will say, like, I think, what's his face? Josh Duhamel. Yeah, I think he was a good, Duhamel was a good Alex for what they wanted him up to be.
He's cute, man.
And I think she was a good Katie for what they wanted her to be. Like, I mean, for both, I would have liked more reserved for both of them. You're dealing with a little bit of more of
yeah. And again, like the storyline that in the movie is different. Like he doesn't have that same character background, so he doesn't know that she.
That's where I got fucking pissed. Because
I like that aspect of Alex's character in the book. I mean, I didn't read it, but like based upon what you've told me, I like that.
Yeah, I don't know if we talk about that a lot. Like he gets mad at her and he tells her like to get the fuck out. Like in
the movie, yeah.
Yeah, he gets really mad at her. Really mad at her. Mm-hmm. And like for lying to him, which yes, in the movie she did, because there's no
right.
You don't get that as you do in the book. And in the book, it's like
he knew the whole time.
He knows the whole time. It makes sense. It just feels natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and when he says "I love you" at that first date, you're like, yes, he knows. So with this whole thing where he's like, "I love you," I'm like, yeah, whatever. But
but also he's like, she's been there for a while at that point, right? Before they go on their first date.
Right. And so in the book, like, all right, let's go back to like, would you recommend the movie? Yes or no?
I mean, it's fine. Like,
if you got, it's an hour and a half. No, it's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
You got 2 hours, fine. I guess.
If you're looking for worse. Like, I mean, it's not a bad movie.
No.
It's not at all. It's got cute moments and fun and funny moments and some romantic moments. You get to see Josh Duhamel
with that shirt.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
I'm going to say I would recommend the book if you listen to it on audiobook and you listen to it 1.75 speed and you skip all the fucking Kevin parts. Because I think the main love story is good.
The thing is, if it were actually a romance novel, you wouldn't have all that like Kevin bullshit, and the book would be better.
You wouldn't have it as long. I think that's the thing, is like, because seriously, like some of those fucking chapters were like
turn it into a romantic suspense and have Kevin chapters, but have them not be as long.
Turn into an Iris Johannesson? Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And part of that, like, honestly, for the fucking movie, I thought that I was like, oh my god, dun, where's the gavel? Like, what's happening? Yeah. Where's the ID channel coming in here? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because when he drops the bike off, holy shit! Like she's
that's creepy as hell.
It's exactly like she's like, this is the fucking the car lights, just show up at her door, and she's like, somebody just dropped this fucking shit off my.
She's freaked out that someone is like.
I would be too.
I would be too.
Yeah. Right. Cool. So our next page of screen, you're gonna be doing this.
Driven.
You're reading. I'm listening. I'm watching. I'm watching.
Are you gonna watch it too?
Yes, I'm gonna watch it too.
That's fine. I'm super excited about it. Actually, I won't lie.
I'm sure it's better than what I read, so it's fine. So it's Driven.
Yeah. So next page of screen is Driven, which book, and then it's a series. It's like a season from Passionflix.
So did you see Tosca said the season 2 was only 5?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. No, I did not see that. Tosca, BFF. Now, the next episode of the Chick Lit Book Club podcast is Amy Penn's Daughter of Rage and Beauty. So.
Yay! I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
I'm so excited. All right, so guys,
where can they find us?
Oh my God, so many places.
So many places. Almost everywhere. Not Facebook.
Except for your garbage can outside, right? So you can find us. I'm pulling up okay. So you can find us at the website is chickletbookclubpodcast.com. The Twitter is at chickletbookclub. Sorry, at chickletpodcast. The TikTok is chicklet book club. The Pinterest is Chicklet Book Club Podcast. The email is chickletbookclubpodcast@gmail.com. Insta is Chicklet Book Club Podcast. YouTube is just fucking YouTube.
Check out that Bitly.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just like search for us because we're having an issue with our YouTube, but it's fine. I mean, you get up to episode 8, you want it. Just whatever.
We're also doing a giveaway for magnets.
Yes.
So if you rate and review our podcast, honestly, on the Apple Podcast app, we will send you a magnet. There are 2 of them that you can choose from, and you can find those on our Instagram page. So please check those out, and then also rate us and review us. And all you have to do to claim your magnet is to screenshot your review and email it to us at chickletbookclubpodcast@gmail.com.
So we are also coming up with some shirts. So the shirts will be we'll have to figure out what we want to give away for the shirts. Because I will give away shirts, but I need to have something cool. Like you have to do something super cool to do, like to get a shirt. So think about what you would do to get a shirt from us. Cool. So that is us.
Sounds good. So yeah, we'll be back next week with Amy Penza, or a book by Amy Penza, and then Driven.
And at some point soon, we have Becca Mack coming up. At some point, she's gonna come up, and also Emma
Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have an ARC coming
first. Yeah, Emma Jackson's first.
Because she has an ARC coming out July 29th, I think is that date.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we'll be talking to her.
Mm-hmm. And we're also going to have another guest coming up, which is our Kinky Book Rex TikTok. So if you have not seen the TikTok or the Instagram, if you have some Kinky Book Rex that do not include like dubious consent, please let us know. Shoot us an email or hit us up on any of the social media channels that we are present on. Not Facebook. Of course, Instagram, but still. Bookstagram you just cannot get away from.
Not on Facebook.
So anyway, until we see you next.
How do we end this thing?
Obnoxiously.
We do. Ready?
Bye.
Bye.
Jesus.